Hello, everybody. I hope that everyone's having a great week. I've had a pretty good week myself. I'm grateful for the springtime. I'm grateful for my jasmine flowers. I think I mentioned them last week, but I'm kind of obsessed, so you get to hear about it all the time. Anyway, I love flowers and I love color. That's a big thing for me. So anyway, today I wanted to just talk briefly about this principle that a couple of years ago, my husband and I invested in a rental property, a beach house. And at the time, it had been owned by someone else that was also renting it out as an Airbnb. And they had some bookings that were going to be, that were booked for after we got it. And so we were trying to figure out how to manage that because it was managed by a management company. And so we were worried and fretting and wondering, should we just let them keep it? Should we let us keep it? How should we work? Should we offer this, that, or the other? And finally, we ended up being really brave and just saying, hey, can we reach out to them and see if they'll switch over to us? And the guy was just like, yeah, sure. Here's their information. And we called that, I don't remember the guy's name. I think it was Roger or Robert or something like that. So I'm just, for the sake of this, we're going to call it Roger. We called it for a little bit the Roger effect. And the reason we called it that was because we spent so much time worrying about something we didn't need to worry about, something that was a non-issue. And I think that's a common theme right now. We spend all this time worrying and fretting. And I had an example just yesterday, of this with my son. Picked my son up, my 11-year-old son, from school, and he told me that he had a panic in the middle of his day because he thought that he was wearing his older sister's shirt. And the shirt was a dark bluish gray, like navy blue, kind of grayish bluish shirt as a t-shirt. And it wasn't a V-neck, but it had like a little just notch in the neck right here. And because he had never worn a boy's shirt that had that notch, he thought that he was wearing a girl's shirt. And so he panicked. And so he got this is so sweet. And so if anyone here knows my son, don't mention anything to him about this. And he's not on social media. So he got a bunch of Scotch tape and taped it together so that he's like, so nobody knew. And I looked at him and I said, that's not your sister's shirt. That's your brother's shirt. That's Jason's shirt. And he was like, well, no, I don't think this is a boy's shirt. And I said, let me look at the size on it. And I said, this is a 14-16. Your sister has been wearing women's shirts for a very long time. And that is not the size she wears in women's shirts. It would be really big on her. And so it took a little bit of convincing, but the reality was he spent all day feeling uncomfortable and worried about this meaning he'd created about the shirt, that it wasn't his shirt and that it was a girl's shirt, and that if it was a girl's shirt, that people would know and that people would make fun of him. So he had this whole story going around in his mind that wasn't even accurate. It was just his brother's shirt. That's the only reason it was so big on him, is because his brother's 2 years older and has already gone through some of his puberty. So that happened again, this whole worry. And even after this whole Roger effect lesson of a couple of years ago, I experienced a similar situation where I have a coach that I talk to on the phone once a month, and he and I have a really good rapport. And I saw him in person recently at an event, and I happen to know that he's very good at presenting himself as being outgoing and friendly, and he is a friendly person, but that he doesn't love being around people. And I made a side comment to him like, hey, you're doing really good pretending like you like these people. And it was just me being sarcastic. And then I walked away and worried about that. I thought, that was a little rude of me. And I thought, I worried and I fretted. I'm like, what if he's mad? What if he doesn't want to talk to me anymore? And I overanalyzed, and come to the next time I talked to him, he brought it up and joked with me about it and said it was funny. And so once again, there's just this tendency we have to take something that we're doing or planning on doing or something we've done and to run in circles about it, to just go, I'm going in circles and worrying about what the response could be and about the problems that could be because of this. And all that does is make us crazy. All that does is stress us out and increase the stress hormones in our body. It doesn't actually get us anywhere closer to our goal. And so this over-analysis, this monkey brain analysis, the challenge that I am inviting myself and anyone hearing this to do is to switch into awareness instead. So instead of analysis of, maybe I shouldn't have said that. What if they didn't like that? What if they're mad at me? What if this happens? What if that happens? On and on and on forever. Switching into a state of awareness. A state of awareness looks a little bit like this. I'm noticing that I'm experiencing some tension in my body. I'm noticing that that tension feels like this, and I notice it in this part of my body. I'm noticing that I am feeling some curiosity about what the results of this might be. Notice there's a little bit of distancing. So instead of I am stressed, I am worried, I did something stupid, I am embarrassed, I am humiliated, I am always saying the wrong things. That's all claiming who you are as a being. Instead, being able to take a step back and say, I'm experiencing this. I said something. Let's see where that goes. And bringing in curiosity. Let's see what happens next. Let's see what this teaches me. What is this here to teach me? Is the ultimate end of that. Is taking a step and saying, everything in my life is here to teach me. Everything, including my own actions, including my own blurting things out. It's here to teach me something. And if I look at everything as it's here to teach me, what could this teach me? This could teach me that I had a moment of boldness. I had a moment of wanting to be funny. Teaches me that I care about being funny. And sometimes if you care deeply about being funny, you are going to say dumb things sometimes. And you are going to say things that make yourself and others uncomfortable. Because sometimes that's what happens when you're trying to be funny. You're going to have fails. Every comedian has jokes that fall flat. There's going to be moments where you wonder, but if you get caught in the analysis of shouldn't have and wish I wouldn't have and all that, you're never going to keep going into that realm of bringing laughter, bringing joy, bringing humor, bringing lightness to the world that really is at the core of what you want to do. So that's my really short message for this week is start being aware of the Roger effect in your life. Where are you overanalyzing and over worrying about something that most likely is not even an issue? And is that really serving you to run in circles? Or could you take a step back and just be aware of your thoughts and your emotions and your physical sensations as an experience, as something that's there to teach you? And to also give yourself some compassion and just say, hey, I am allowed to say different things. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you soon and have a great week.